Hey everyone, this is my quiz review for quiz 6. So I decided to do question 5 as well as question 8 on my quiz for my quiz review. Um, so I'm first going to go over question 5, which says traditionally, what has been the main legal difference between an invitee and a licensee? Well, I chose, or the correct answer is licensees only serve their own purposes, whereas invitees also serve the landowner's purposes. On page 152, it says that a licensee is someone who was on the land with the express or implied permission of the landholder, and a licensee is present for her own purposes, is not for any business purpose or any other purpose except by permission of the landholder. So this would be true. They only serve their own purpose. An invitee on page 153 says are essentially visitors who enter the land for the economic purposes of the landholder. People, the general definition, people wanted on the premises for a specific purpose known by the landholder. So we know this is also correct. Invitees only serve the landowner's purposes or the landowner's benefit. Landowners owe a duty of care to invitees but not to licensees. Back to page 152 says that a landowner owe a landholder, owe licensees the same duty of care that they owe to trespassers. So that would not be true. They do, landowners do have owe a duty of care to licensees. So this would not be correct. Invitees have permission to be on the premises, whereas licensees do not. A licensee is present for her own purposes and not for any business purpose. And is someone who was on the land with the express or implied permission of the landholder. So we know this is also not true because it says that licensees do have permission to be on the premises of a landholder. So even though they might not serve the landowners a purpose, they do have permission to be on the premises. For licensees. And as well as invitees, they also have an invitation. So they do have permission to be on the premises. Licensees have a duty to exercise reasonable care. It says the possessor of land is subject to liability to his licensees from physical harm caused to them by his failure to carry on his activities with reasonable care for their safety, if, but only if, he should expect that they will not discover or realize the danger and they do not know or have reason to know of the possessor's activities and the risk involved. So yes, the licensees do have a duty to exercise reasonable care. Especially because the landowner is not liable unless he should expect that they will not discover or realize the danger. So a landowner has a duty to warn a licensee of an unknown danger that the licensee might not have realized or come to discover. But then again, licensees still have on someone else's land or premises, they still have a duty to exercise reasonable care. It says, whereas invitees are merely obligated to refrain from gross negligence or intentional torts, invitees also have a duty to exercise reasonable care. The landholder is under no obligation to protect the invitee against the invitee's own negligence. So an invitee should not merely be obligated to refrain from gross negligence or intentional torts, but they should also exercise reasonable care in order to refrain from any gross negligence or any negligence, period. Not just gross negligence, but any negligence, period, or anything that can be done intentional. Okay, so that's all I have for question 5. Again, the answer is licensees only serve their own purposes, whereas invitees also serve the landowner's purposes. And again, the question is traditionally, what has been the main legal difference between an invitee and licensee? So it becomes, or it is more in depth into the legal differences, but it just wants the traditional difference, the traditional main difference. Okay, and then moving on to question 8. As you guys can see, I did not receive all or full points for this question. But I think as I'm doing this quiz review, I think I understand why. So this question says, according to the textbook, which of the following, if located on a landholder's real property, will likely be included as part of the landholder's premises? Please select all that apply. So on page 39, sorry why I flipped there, it gives the definition of real property. And the real property is defined as land and all property permanently attached to it, such as buildings. So, as you guys can see, the options that I chose were an operable car, a water well, a single family home, the mailbox, trees and bushes, and a backyard shed. Well, now that I'm thinking about it, and again, I could be wrong, but I think I should have not chosen the inoperable car because it is not permanently attached to a land. The residents of a home can leave and come at any given time. They're not permanently attached to the land, as well as the family dog. A car that can be operated by a resident of the home can leave and come back at any point and at any time. So it's not permanently attached to the home. Whereas a water well is permanently attached. It's usually deep inside the ground. As well as a single family home. It's permanently attached to the land. The mailbox is permanently attached to the land. Trees and bushes are permanently attached to the land, and a backyard shed is permanently attached to the land. They can't just get up and walk away as they please and come back as they please. They all are attached to the land, whereas these 3 options are not. So again, like I said earlier, I ended up choosing this one, but I think I should not have. So I am now going to change my answer to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 options. And again, if this is incorrect, please feel free to let me know. Send out a comment and let me know how to go about it, the process, your thinking process, and how to come to the correct answer. Okay? Thank you guys, and I hope you guys have a good evening.